Are you ready? Are you ready? Let's go!
Do you have absolute certainty on how you go from hello to yes on what you're looking for?
Sean is a master. He teaches. It's not just about sharing the formula with you. It's about making sure that we learn.
I went from $100,000 in debt from law school to having no money and starting my own law firm on my credit card to selling it 4 years later.
Sean and I, we co-created massive victories in 2 unwinnable jury trials, which are recognized nationally now as top 100 jury verdicts.
To be even on the same track with you, who I respect and admire and love with all my heart.
Never again submit. You're not better and you're not less than any human on earth.
When you shared with us about the Unblinded process and the mastery sales training, I just went, wow.
Sean will gain proximity to the most influential and powerful people. He will find out how he can grow their business, how he can help them personally. But the third thing that he does is the most important. Sean serves without an expectation of getting anything in return.
You have very, very high-performing colleagues.
22 years ago, you transformed my life as you did all these people's lives over the course of time. And I couldn't be more grateful. Let's hear it for Tony Robbins.
I don't see him as a lawyer, and I don't see him as a blind person. Someone who has subjugated his ego, who has taught me what serving really looks like.
You have this incredible ability to just have unconditional love for everyone, and that is just an incredible gift.
The moment you have been waiting for.
The American Blind Association is the first new face and voice of that association since Helen Keller.
Formula for formulas, which is exactly what I've learned from Sean. It's a language-based predictable model. We will have over 300 new sales meetings this month.
This superpower in the world that is attainable for you is the ability to influence people.
If you believe that, say yes. If you believe that, say yes.
Do you think that worked?
Amazing. Thank you guys for being here on Thankful Thursday.
Eva wants to make sure she has some fun today. So I guaranteed her we would have some fun.
Since I'm here, they'll be fun. So Bella, yeah, so we had to overcome Bella, but we'll be okay. So, no, you're extraordinary. Let's go.
Let's do this.
Amazing people. Who we got?
Oh my goodness, Sean. Sean, I have a big role today because I got to fill Gina's shoes. And like, this is a big role because if you F it up, like, you know, there's all kinds of things that can happen. So I've been practicing names with these folks. So we'll see what happens. So our first participant is Mr. Angelo Langadangus. Say it again. All right. Angelo began his career as an auditor in the public accounting firm in New York and never saw the light of day. Sounds like somebody else I know. In his role, and additionally, not just that,
yes,
in his role as the counselor at Bratch and Essler, I probably should have practiced these things.
Brock Eichler.
What he said.
Amazing.
Yeah, what he said handles all aspects of litigation. I think you know a thing or two about litigation. And since 2018, he continues to volunteer as an attorney and mentor at Miller Place High School. Let's welcome Angelo.
Angelo, thanks for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and what is your fun fact, Angelo?
Oof, I don't have a practice fun fact. I'm into astrology.
Nice. What is your sign?
I'm a Scorpio.
Ooh. And what
do you have any idea what that actually means?
Yeah, my dad is like a hippie dude like you. So of course I do. Yes. So what is a Scorpio mean, like for you? Like what is present around being a Scorpio?
Actually, the thing I connect most with my my whole chart is my Gemini moon. Yeah, the Gemini moon for lawyers is like a very good asset because Gemini is ruled by Mercury, which rules communication. So that's very important for what we do. And it's true. I can communication, thankfully, something that comes easy, which is an asset to lawyers.
Awesome. And Angelo, you're what's December?
Yes, I'm on the Sagittarius Capricorn cusp.
Okay, so which are you?
I'm both. I
No,
love the
you're
color.
one. You're one.
But my birthday is the 23rd, so I have a lot of Sagittarius traits, which is very adventurous. But the Capricorn is very like goal setting, system.
So you're a Capricorn. So Capricorn, and I'm an Aquarius. So Angelo, how do like Capricorns and Aquariuses work out?
Capricorn and Aquarius, as their sun sign, actually go well together because they're both ruled by Saturn, which is the planet of responsibility. Yeah. So
But you're telling me Bella Verita is responsible?
yeah. So you guys both share that in common, and you tend to have like they say they have dismissive, avoidant attachment style. So they like to keep people at a little bit of a distance, and like to suppress, high emotionality and favor logic and reason.
Why are you laughing, Sean Callaghan?
I don't know. Listen, Angelo, thank you. We've entered into the age of Aquarius today.
Yeah.
So very much appreciate you. Welcome to the Real Raw. And thanks for being here, Angelo.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Yes.
Sean Callaghan.
Yes.
We have a woman that has graced us with her presence, and she's getting married in 10 days. I don't know if I would come on a show if I was getting married in 10
If
days.
it was the Real Raw, you would come on.
Maybe I would. Maybe I would. But this extraordinary woman is a compensation attorney in New York, and she prides herself on representing the disabled workers' comp in the state of New York. Yeah. And she is a member of the New York Bar Association, the Orange County Bar Association, and the Injured Workers Bar Association. Let's welcome Eva Pachachon.
Eva, how are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
I'm doing well. And what is your fun fact, Eva? What's your sign, by the way, Eva? Do you know?
I'm a Virgo.
This is a new one on the road. What's your sign?
I'm a Virgo. My fun fact is I remember everything that I've ever heard, which is scary because I remember stuff about people that they tell me years and years and years and years ago. And they're like, I can't remember. I can't believe you remember that. Like, I think that people forget that, or they don't realize that somebody else just takes them as importantly as they take themselves. So yeah, that's my fun fact.
Oh, Eva, and when did that start? From like what?
From childhood. I seem to have the memory of an elephant, which is scary.
All right. Can you tell me maybe like one of the darkest secrets, like one of your 8-year-old friends ever told you? Unless that gets like creepy.
Oh, I don't know.
Nothing like horrible, like nothing traumatic and bad.
Oh, I know one of my friends told me he bit his sister.
Whoa.
Bill Rita, you did that.
Bite my sister?
Yes.
Yeah.
That probably is true.
Yeah. So Eva, thank you so much for being here. We're gonna have a bunch of fun today, and thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Bella?
All right, next up, we've got some simple names that I can get. So our first judge is Kari Schneider, coming to us from Canada, and she is the founder of Empowering Conditioning from Ontario. Yes. And she, Sean, has been a coach to athletes, pro athletes, Olympians for over 2 freaking decades.
That's amazing.
Yes, and she's an expert in physical optimization and self-mastery, and she's presented at multiple research and abstract conferences. And she also leads a blended family of 7. So you know that she can get a lot done in a short amount of time leading that kind of family. Let's welcome Kari Schneider.
Thank God, Kari. Thank you. How are you doing today, and what is your fun fact?
Fun fact, I'm way up north working on a big project, but it's put me in a position where I haven't seen any TV for about 4 months. And it's kind of been awesome. I've been away from the television for about 4 months. It's pretty cool.
Well, congratulations. And it's Kari, right?
It's Kari.
Kari, I'm sorry. Kari, thank you for your breaking up with television. And it's accelerated. What's been your biggest positive, Kari, of not watching television?
I never really watched a lot anyway, but I think it's just being the example of getting outside more and reconnecting with yourself as well as family. So I think it's that for the most part. It's allowed me to get more done. I love getting things done. It's allowed me to connect with my family a little more. So I love that.
Amazing. Well, Kari, thanks for being here today in the Raw Raw. Let's hear it for Kari. Who do we have from here?
So our next judge, Sean, claims to know who you are and claims to know you. I don't know if that's like a bonus or not, but Hashim Masari, do you know this? Do you know this name?
It sounds familiar.
It sounds familiar. So Hashim is a partner at Ray. It just says Ray, that seems kind of weird. Since 2004, as a position of a corporate counsel for the city of Patterson, and serves as one of the city's multiple prosecutors.
Nice.
But this is a problem, Sean, because what it says here is Hashim does not like long walks on the beach. So can we let him stay?
Of course we can, because he can prosecute you, Bella Verita. Hashim, would you prosecute Bella Verita for us?
You know, it's a tough question. It depends on how this goes. We can decide at the conclusion whether or not we will prosecute. Let's put it that way.
I love this, Hashim. This is fun. So what is your fun fact?
Fun fact, I went to law school on a bet. I had a roommate that asked me to borrow money to take a prep course for the LSATs. And it was a double or nothing bet. I asked him to just go buy a book from Barnes & Noble, a prep study book. And he said, well, why don't you do that? You loan me the money for this, Barbary course for the LSATs. And if I beat you, I don't pay you back. But if you beat me on the LSATs, I pay you double. And I won that bet.
Let's hear it for Hashim.
And I keep pronouncing it wrong. Hasham, right?
You got it.
Hasham.
Yes.
You're killing me.
I know.
You're killing me.
You know this happens with me.
Yes. Hasham, here we go. Let's hear it for Hasham. Yeah, I think, Hasham, you're already at probable cause level. Arrest has happened. Prosecution is potentially inevitable. We'll see what happens. Hasham, thank you for being here.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Yes. All right. And last, but certainly not least, we have the amazing, the wonderful Miss Sharon Johnson, who started her company in February of 2020 with 12 years of experience in healthcare management, particularly in the space of outpatient physical practice. She is now her mission is empowering independent physician practices to stand out from their competition to rise to the next level. Let's welcome Sharon Johnson.
Sharon, how the heck are you?
Doing well. It's bright out. I'm doing well.
Awesome. And what is what's going well for you today?
Well, the sun is out. The weather is actually, humidity is low. So I was able to walk out and enjoy the fresh air. So it's always a welcome for me. And I get to work from home 100% now, which I have been asking for a long time. So, it's good for me. Commute, I'm done. I'm ready to just hunker down and do things for myself.
Well, Sharon, amazing. Welcome. And what is your fun fact?
I actually love golfing. I picked it up about 2 years ago. My husband and I went to play golf at 9. And so I've kind of enjoyed that. And hopefully we'll be picking it up more as time goes on.
Golfing is in the mix. Love
That
this.
is fun.
So Sharon, thank you so much for being here. And are you ready to have some fun, Sharon?
I am ready. Let's do it.
All right. So Sharon, who is this crazy lady and everybody? This woman, well, eccentric and magical, is also brilliant and heart-centered and wonderful. Usually. No, I'm just kidding. So she started out as listen to this though. She started selling crafts on her front lawn as an 8-year-old. I was running away from my aunts trying to give me like a hug at Easter, and she's selling crafts already. I couldn't even talk to an adult. And from there, she became the #1 business broker in the state of Nevada at the ripe old age of 24. First woman to achieve this feat. And now she is the CEO, the chief influence sorceress, at aligning talent, training, salespeople, because like, listen, let's face it, no business, no nothing. And Bella trains, sources, creates salespeople, marketing, selling, employees, teammates that you need. This is the space. Bella Verita and her heart are present. And let's hear it for Bella Verita. What is your fun fact, woman?
You know what? I think my fun fact today is because I love to get dirty and muddy. Like, people don't really expect that about me. Like, I love four-wheeling and rolling in the mud. And last week while I was in Costa Rica, I actually paid to sit in a sweat lodge where they like had hot stones where you're like pouring sweat. It's so hot you can barely breathe and roll around in mud. It's something I actually paid for.
That is interesting, with people screaming for their life and all the things.
Not quite, but it was pretty hot. It was pretty hot.
Pretty intense. Well,
yes.
Welcome to the party. Let's support these amazing, fun people with everything that's happening here. And please, Bella Verita, who's going to go first?
Ooh, I think Mr. Angelo is ready to set us off.
All right, Angela.
What are we doing here?
Yes, we are going to go from hello to yes, because influence is in fact a superpower. It's what causes our marketing, our selling, our recruiting, our managing, our leading, our fundraising, for profit, not for profit. It's helped us have the unique privilege of co-creating $3 million plus in funds raised for the American Foundation for the Blind, in our ecosystem this year. It's caused lots and lots of beautiful things, and it's how our money, time, and magic rises. So we have the access point, folks, to introducing the concept, not pitching, not hooking, not closing. But we believe and I had the privilege of going to Columbia as an undergrad, graduating law school with honors. I don't think they teach you about influence, and it's never a question of, yes, I'm good at something, or no, I'm not good at something. It's where you are on the scale of mastery. There's a pretty big difference between being Usain Bolt, who's now retired, having been the fastest man on earth for, a good 8 years, and being second fastest. Because the benefits, the magic, the impact between number one and number two out of 8 billion was enormous. And in every level in the continuum, where we sit versus somebody else matters in terms of the impact, the time, the money we create. So with that said, we're going from hello to yes. So Bella Verita will be anybody you want her to be, to demonstrate in 3 minutes how you get the next yes. It doesn't have to be the ultimate yes. It is sell something to Bella in 3 minutes, because when we rush, we force, we push. In traditional dynamics of influence training, it's about us. But how do we create it about ourselves versus about both people in this situation? How do we get on the same side of the table, even with Bella Verita? So we make magic happen and move things forward. So, Angelo, who would you like Bella to be? She could be an ideal client avatar or anybody else that you'd be seeking a yes from. What do you think?
That's tough. That's tough. Are there like parameters for this role play?
No, she'll be anybody you want her to be. It says any yes that would matter to you in the world. So Bella could be a client. She could be a judge in conference. She could be a book publisher for a deal with you. It could be raising money for a client or for not for profit, anything you like. How about this, Angela? Is there any yes right now that you're seeking in the world? I could think of like 150 that we're seeking right now. What yes would matter to you? It could be somebody you're managing. It could be a client that you need to understand a position about. It could be, potentially a new client you're meeting with tomorrow or the next day. Any yes that or judge to take a position.
Someone you want to do an astrology reading for.
Yes.
This is tough. This is tough. I don't really think of life that way. So are there sort of like some canned role plays that we can just, get started on? Because I can't really think of a yes that would really matter to me at this point. I mean, other than hypothetical cases, like active cases that I can't talk about right now.
Right. Yeah. But how about if it was a client coming in, do you that you thought you could help? Would you want to have them say yes?
I don't usually have that problem. I'm usually the person who's saying, I'm sorry, I'll refer you to somebody else. That's why, like, I just want to get the role play moving. So Is there like a canned sort of scenario that we can just start off with? Because I don't have anything in mind. I'm drawing a blank. I'm sorry.
No, it's all good. And this is actually, I think, super relevant. So is there anything, what caused you, Angelo, to say yes to come on today?
Curiosity. I was curious to see what this is about.
Cool. And in your practice building, are you seeking to grow your practice still, or you want it exactly the way it is? You have exactly the amount of money, exactly the amount of time, freedom, and scale and impact that you want.
Yeah, I'm actually pretty happy with how things are right now. I got divorced in 2020, and I've sort of reevaluated a lot of things with the trajectory of my life, and I realized that I'm not a money hungry person, but what I was missing a lot of is time. And now that I found that time, money, enjoyment balance, I can honestly say that I'm in a good place with my what little I have of my personal life at the moment.
Mhm.
But as I come out of divorce fully, it's just it's more and more. And no, I'm at a good place. So that I I don't mean it to be difficult.
No, actually, you're not. Listen, brother, we had 3,000 people in the show.
Yeah.
There's no conversation we haven't had.
Yeah,
right?
good.
Yeah, none. I promise that. And so, an access could also be: is there anything that moves your heart charitably? Like, is there a cause that you care about or might want to move people towards?
Yeah, so one of the things that kept happening in 2020, that's me. One of the things that kept happening in 2020, which was really sad, it's what originally sucked me into matrimonial law, which I've been trying my best to get out of for 5 years, is orders of protection. So I just meet a lot of people through Facebook, or all these different chat groups that are just like, I have this situation and somebody either filed an order of protection against me maliciously, trying to create a narrative like a narcissistic type of relationship, or I'm seeking an order of protection legitimately because XYZ is happening. And courts are just trying their best to help people with these things, but they don't realize the emotional aspect of it, which is when you're in that situation, you can't read pages upon pages of like procedure and law and make sense of it. Like there's got to be like an easier way that's more palatable to the non-lawyer. So I guess if I could do anything charitable, it would be just helping people who need an order of protection, step by step through the process, kind of automate the process of doing that.
Okay, so how about this? How about Bella is a philanthropist.
Okay.
And she has a charitable foundation, and she could fund a project to create automated orders of protection. And you're having a conversation with her to create access to her and her ecosystem, her world, to get engaged in this project. How does that sound?
Yeah, let's do that.
All right, awesome.
Beautiful.
All right, Bella, take us in.
Hello, this is Bella.
Hey, Bella, it's Angelo.
How are you today?
I'm all right. So I didn't see any kind of agenda for today's 3-minute call. How would you like to start it off?
Yeah, well, my good friend Sean Kelly, he said that you would be calling. You have something, needed some support with some charity or something. So tell me, what is it that you're looking for support with?
So really, at this point, we're looking for funding. We've submitted a patent pending process, which we think is going to be granted. It's a unique process, but the concept is very simple. There are people who are looking for orders of protection, and when they find themselves in a certain situation, they're not mentally in the headspace to process what needs to get done in order to get what they very well may be entitled to. So this is something that's been going on in the legal industry for quite a while. trying to automate legal work, trying to automate low-level legal work. And it's actually quite simple. For as long as they check certain boxes of what facts are applicable and applicable to the law that entitles them to an order of protection, and they are able to put in an additional narrative and upload certain documents or files to support why they're entitled to the order of protection, the system will just package it up and have it ready to be filed as a petition for an order of protection and be served on to whoever they're looking to serve. It's a very simple process. The problem, though, is for a private investor, there wouldn't necessarily be a large money-making component to it. That's why we're really going for the charitable angle. To see, if there's some philanthropic motivation to get involved with something like this, because it could obviously change a lot of lives.
Definitely. It sounds very, very interesting. And when we seek to make investments, we really are looking for things. We're at a point ourselves where money is great, but how can we make the bigger difference in the world?
I mean, right now, it's a little late to jump onto any kind of grand movement, and it's not really about jumping onto a movement per se, but nobody can really argue with the PR value that helping victims of domestic violence or people trying to reestablish their lives from an abusive relationship has, socially or with social media, for whoever wants to leverage that from a charitable organization.
Got it. Well, Angelo, I am definitely interested in what you have to say and would love to have a longer conversation.
Likewise.
Yeah.
That was fantastic.
Yes, Angelo, excellent job. How'd that feel for you?
It felt good.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Excellent. So somehow we've had Ava sucked into the multiverse.
Yes, she's in the multiverse somewhere.
So would would any of our judges like to jump in and do a roll at a hello to yes?
Ooh. So does anyone want to jump into
Why don't you select one?
I think Hasham.
Hasham, would you want to jump in and go from hello to yes with Bella?
So I have to convince Bella to give me her money. Is that what I have to do?
Anything you want.
You can set up any kind of other scenario that you want.
You could convince Bella she should put you on her TV show. You could
that wouldn't
Bella
be a very hard yes.
That she could come and work for you. That she would come and settle a case. Whatever you want, Sean.
I like the employment angle. We are in a environment today where we're offering exceptional employment opportunities, but unfortunately, we don't have the workforce that we had pre-COVID. So I'd like to take the employment angle.
Nice. Okay, so Bella is somebody you're recruiting to work with you?
Yes, I want Bella. Yeah, right. So we're going to switch it where now the employees have the control. We're in a time of our lives where the employers have lost control of the job market, and the employees can actually pick and choose who they want to work for, because the workforce has been diminished and it's been affected so much by COVID. So I maybe work it that way, where I'm trying to convince her to come aboard and work for our team.
Perfect. And she's an attorney or non-attorney?
I'll let her pick. What do you want to be, an attorney or a non-attorney? It's your choice.
Ooh. Either one. I could be a business development salesperson.
Let's do that.
Okay, take us in.
Hello, this is Bella.
Hi, Bella. How are you today?
I'm excellent. How about yourself?
I'm well, thank you. Thank you for joining us today during this during these tough times. I'd like to share a little bit about our firm here, and hopefully by the end of this interview process, you're going to choose us, because I know you have many options to choose from out there, being such a successful business development person that you are, with multiple opportunities out there. But let me tell you about our firm. Okay. We treat our clients like family members. We want our clients to feel at home when they come to our office, and we do the same for our employees. And we'd love to have you come aboard and work for us. If you have any questions for us, for me, I'd be more than happy to answer any of your questions.
Yeah, I'd be curious, like kind of what the company culture is like. What are the, expectations? Is it, do I get to continue working from home? Do I have to come into an office? Those would be a couple of key things I would like to know.
You know what? You're in control as long as the job gets done. You can pick and choose what you do, where you work from. We cater to obviously working moms. I'm not sure if you have children. Doesn't really matter if you do or you don't. You may have other needs at home that you may want to dive into while you're working. We want to make you feel as comfortable as possible, and hopefully you join our team because we really need your help.
Got it. So I have one really important question because my current law firm, Callaghy Law, has like a Willy Wonka chocolate factory and an ice cream machine in their office. Are those a couple of perks that you offer?
We can do a lot better than that. We'll match the Willy Wonka. We get a popcorn machine. We can even get a cotton candy making machine if you like. Whatever you want, we will get for you. We want to make sure you're happy here at work, but you have to get the job done.
Now their Christmas party though, like they actually make it snow inside, and like there's abominable snowmen.
Yeah, we've taken some of our employees to the North Pole at some point
Are you
during their tenure. So
I'm going to the North Pole. I'm going to the North Pole. I'm going to see Santa.
Hisham, awesome job, man. Appreciate that.
Thank
So great job, Hisham. Great job, Angelo. So Bella, let's go to see what the judges have to say. 30 seconds of feedback for each of our fine participants on integrous influence, the opening of listening, the connection, the movement forward, creating that curiosity and gravitational pull, and a score on a scale of 1 to 10. Who should we start with?
I think we should start with Miss Kari.
Kari, please, what do you have to share with Angelo?
Okay. I loved how Angelo explained what he was looking for from Bella, the philanthropist. At the same time, he explained the process well. Said it was not about making money. So she was clear that she wasn't going into an investment scenario. She was actually donating or offering her financial support. She said it could change a lot of lives. That's where I thought he could emphasize a little more, the changing of the lives. What was interesting to Bella about supporting this cause? That's where I thought he could go a little deeper. So I gave him a 7.
Nice. Thank you very much, Kari. And how about what did you have for Hisham?
Hisham, you were very charismatic and really wanted to lure her into the firm. And one of the first things that you said was, let me tell you about our firm. We treat you like family and do this. We treat like family and do the same for our employees. But in saying that, first off, you didn't ask about her. If she's your family, if she's your friend, would you not ask about where she is and how she's doing? So I would suggest maybe getting in with her to really treat her like family before trying to cater to all her needs. I would give you a 7 as well.
Nice, Kari. Excellent feedback. And where do we go from here?
I think we should go to Miss Sharon.
I think we should go to Miss Sharon also.
I bet Miss Sharon might like long walks on the beach. She's so happy about the weather. I think she might like long walks on the beach.
Sharon, would you like to go for a long walk on Long Beach Island?
Absolutely. The beach is my favorite place in the world.
Awesome.
So yes.
And what's your favorite? What's your favorite beach, Sharon?
Actually, it's in Ocean City, Maryland is my favorite one. It's in a more secluded area though, not so much as a lot of folks. So I like the quiet. Nice. So I go on a weekday where it's very quiet.
Ooh. So Sharon, would you mind sharing for Angelo what you have?
Sure. So for Angelo, I really like his approach about the philanthropy. I think he was very clear about that. I echo the same sentiment with Kari that, he drove it in terms of that. He also was very specific about that this isn't a, investment, that is a philanthropy. I sense his passion about the fact that there is what we can do, as a whole. Where I do think I feel like he needs to highlight a bit more is that direction of like, what can we do to help these folks? There are things that we could expand about it, and that with your help in the philanthropy, I think that would go a long way. So just
and your score for him is?
And the score is actually, I'm going to give him an 8. just because he really showed that passion about, what he knows and his knowledge about it.
Excellent. Love it. How about what did you have for Hasham?
So Hasham, I love his taking his ease with the interviewee. A lot of times you're already nervous, so I think that his approach of kind of levity does go a long way in some aspects of things, because you're a nervous wreck already. I do think that I feel like Carrie has already said kind of what my thoughts were as well. That to offer, before offering everything that's on the table to bring the potential employee in, is to really lay out a little bit about not only the company, but also, what are some of the things aside from that, walking away with what she can do, with the job.
Excellent.
And the score is at 8, same with Angela. So
nice, Sharon. Sharon's taking your lines.
Yes.
Nice work. Excellent. Perfect. So I think we should have some more fun. Sharon, would you like to have a little bit more fun today?
Okay.
She made a very squinty face, like she's not so sure about this.
Just a little bit.
Sign up for that teensy weensy bit.
Just a teensy
weensy bit.
Okay. So what this woman does to me on a daily basis is
we put him on the hot seat. So he gets to go from hello to yes on any scenario that you would like to set up, Sharon. So like we've done some super fun things. Like he's had to be President Trump that had to convince President Biden to still build the wall. That was fun. He was once Darth Vader who had to convince Padme.
Mm-hmm.
I got it this time. Padme going to war. So that was pretty fun. He's had to do 3-minute marriage proposals to keep people in the country. He once even had to convince a very conservative New Jersey attorney on why he should go to Burning Man. That would have been an easy yes for me, but for the conservative attorney, not so much. So Sharon, you can set up any type of scenario. This could be one that you would like to see him model for you to go from hello to yes, or you can set up any scenario that you'd like, as long as it's in integrity.
Okay. So I would say probably the scenario I'm thinking of is, let's go with the Marvel line here. I'm thinking of Loki convincing Mobius that he is a god, and that he actually has purpose in this timeline, and that he should be in this Marvel universe, and he's not a prisoner, and so on, what have you. And so he has merit in being his partner in solving this whole time thing.
Wow. So this is amazing.
For those of us that don't know what she's talking about, what does this mean?
Okay, so it's Loki and Mobius, right?
Yes. So it's Loki and Mobius. It's Loki in the Marvel comics.
Yeah,
So it's a Disney show, and so it's an offshoot. So this is basically about Loki proposing that he is actually a good partner.
Does
should be working together.
Yeah, is Wilbius's concern, and Wilbius is a he? It's a he, right?
It's a he, yes.
Okay. And Wilbius is concerned that he's not worthy, or he's like, I don't want to be here and I should be somewhere else.
So he's really like the evil person, I suppose. It's like he wrecks the timeline. He does whatever, he's a god. He's going to disrupt everything about that timeline. And so in this case, he's trying to convince him that he is worthy to be his partner. They can work together to solve this disrupted timeline issue. He's not the cause of it. He's actually a good guy. He's not a bad guy deep down inside. And so he's trying to propose that I can work with you. I'm not the bad guy here.
I'm gonna be Loki convincing Wilbius I'm not a bad guy and I want to fix all of this. But Wilbius thinks I might be a bad guy. Is that true?
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes.
Got it. Let's go. Could you get out of my seat?
Who are you role playing with?
I don't know. It's up to Sharon. Who should be Wilbius? Would you like to be Wilbius or somebody else?
I would say let's go with Hisham.
All right. Thank you very
much. Take it away.
Thank you. Okay. So Wilbius, thanks for having this quick conversation. I know there's chaos and mayhem that is afoot, but I'll ask you, What's your vision and what's present for you, even though I know you don't trust a word that's coming out of my mouth? But what are you seeking to create here, Wilbius?
You repeat that for me. I couldn't hear you, Loki.
Yeah. So, Wilbius, what I'm asking is, what's present for you in this, even though I know you don't trust me? I know you don't trust anything we're talking about, but I want to see if anything that we're discussing resonates with you to have a longer conversation. My question, though, fundamentally is, what do you want to see happen with the entire multiverse of all of this?
Well, Loki, even as you speak now, I have a hard time thinking that you have any good intentions. And what I'd like to see is you actually bringing the multiverse together with your special abilities and powers. Do you think that that would be possible?
I don't think it's possible without working together. So the challenge we have in all of this is how we perceive each other. And I am present to that. I'm also present to the only way, we're in the paradox of the only way that's going to get worked out and through is if we do work together and produce the outcome of creating alignment again in the entire timeline of everything. But to do that, we have to step forward and trust. So can I share for a second, Mobius, not only fundamentally why I don't think we have any other choice but to do it, but why I do what I do. And so you gotta have a deeper understanding of me.
Time and time again, you've fooled us, Loki. Convince me that your heart is true and that you are the one to make this happen.
Yeah. So, yeah, what I become present to in the timeless dynamics of my existence has been the fact that I thought I was doing some level of good. As I created mayhem, I created confusion because I thought fundamentally from that, everyone could learn and grow. And in the end, all would align. I understand though, how much distrust I've created, how much chaos and harm that is also created, and that the only way to truly function and build anything is by the causing of leadership and the coming together with other remarkable people, creatures, gods like yourself. So I fundamentally have seen things differently, which you can't possibly believe because this sounds like things I've told you dozens of times before. But I don't think there's a choice anyway, because unless we work together, this timeline will not come together. So my request is to take this a step at a time, to gain trust. And what would you need to see at each stage of this to believe this is going to work? Because we have no choice. Mobius.
I'd like you to put your words behind your actions and go to each of the members of the multiverse and make amends with actions and not words. We can start with your brother, Thor.
Yeah.
If you're willing to do that, that's a start.
Yeah, I'm committed to that, but we have a time deadline. And we don't have time to do all of those things because if we don't act now, we face the absolute ultimate destruction of everything. So if we take some action steps forward first, I will, as we progress, happily make these amends and make things right with Thor and everyone else. So can we begin to work together, Mobius, now?
The universe is in your hands, Loki. The earth is in your hands. The fate of the multiverse is in your hands. I will go down that path with you and I will trust you. And let's do this.
Well, thank you, Mobius. Excellent job. How did I do, Sharon?
I was convinced.
I must say, both of you, I'm highly impressed with just a little bit of context, and you guys went away with the whole story. So kudos to both of you. I say that I would have said yes after the second time you were imploring on the side of, hey, this is really, we need to work together. You know, this cannot work without the ability to be able to work together. So I was convinced. I think for a second there, I think Hisham was like, I don't know, you need to do this, you need to do this. And then towards the end, the pivot of like the plea. I think the plea of the whole and wrapping it up in that plea, I think is what moved the needle over.
Yeah,
so I would
thank
say
you.
I'll give it a 9.5.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I am much more of a DC guy, so I had the absence of some context. I do know who Loki and Thor are generally, but I haven't seen the movies and haven't seen the comics in a long time. So Sharon, thank you for that scenario. Sharon, how was your time with us today on The Real Raw?
I enjoyed this. I enjoyed you guys. Thank you. I really enjoyed the way you guys presented and how you guys were influenced. The influence is really what got to me today. And I appreciated all of that. I learned a lot in terms of how influence can matter.
No, well, thank you. Appreciate that. Kari, thank you so much for being here, for judging today. And how was your time with us on The Real Raw?
This has been fantastic. It's lots of fun to see the dynamic interactions, the different scenarios, and I love seeing you put on the spot.
She loves that too.
I love it too.
I don't even want to tell you guys what I had to do yesterday. We're not even going to go there because I will turn purple. But Kari, thank you so much for being here today.
What was yesterday's? I forgot.
Thank God. Yes. So let's go. Hisham, thank you for jumping into the seat of role player as we lost somebody in the multiverse. Maybe Loki was up to things with Ava, but we will get Ava back on. So Hisham, how was your time with us today?
This was great. It gave me a little bit of a break from the normal day-to-day routine activities. It was fun. It was inspiring. You don't get to do this very often, communicate with peers and just have relaxed, good time at it. I loved it. It was great.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Hisham. And Angelo, how about yourself? Thank you for being here today.
I liked the exactly what Hisham said. It was a good vibe. Obviously, first encounters are always there needs to be a little bit of an icebreaker, but no, it was very nice and relaxed, and pretty much what you said in the beginning. It's like, instead of meeting at a bar, that's pretty much how it's been in all of 2020. It's just been Zoom calls, right? So everybody's been organizing their Zoom den for their Zoom calls to virtually hang out. But no, it was nice, and thank you for the invite.
Well, thank you, Angelo. You did a great job. Bella Verita,
Final is just thank you all for being here today. It was absolutely extraordinary time to share space with each one of you. And there is a formula. There is a formula for the magic of going from hello to yes. So the team dropped for you in the chat. Make sure you grab that guide on how to go from hello to yes, how to have the magic. Because, Tony Robbins said, there's no one that leads with more heart and more integrity than this guy right here. And I have seen him over the last couple of years lead this team, lead this company to extraordinary things with zero marketing or advertising, doing over $500,000 in sales because of this formula. So definitely download the guide. Definitely take the opportunity to speak to
per month, that is.
Yes, per month. Yes,
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah.
per month. And Adam Gugino, who you definitely will have the opportunity to meet. He took a team from 0 to 500 salespeople, and
3 million.
3 million
To 750
to
million.
750 million in sales. So that is a guy that you definitely want to talk to if you're looking at growing and expanding your company. And thank you all for being here. And Sean, thank you so much for gracing me with your presence. And I'm going to give you like a 5.5 because when I walked away, you pushed my chair to the side. So that had to deduct points for that. So
Well, thank you.
5.5 for you.
Yeah, everybody, thank you for being here. And just in the final moment, 24 years ago, I began to learn that influence was in fact a superpower. And the difference between integrous influence and non simply sits in our intention to add more value than we take and receive. And in that continuum, we talk about money, and Angelo was sharing, he's got that going, right where he wants to. He's got a beautiful life balance and time balance, and that's a wonderful place. But whenever we want more, and the creation of magic, impact, contribution, which is a space that we sit in, quite frankly, beautifully at this point, it's all through this superpower of influence. We got involved with the American Foundation for the Blind. I am blind, a little over 2 years ago, and
Angela looked quite surprised.
yeah, I'm blind. I can't see a thing on the screen. I have the privilege of having 2 top 100 national jury verdicts, one of only 2 attorneys in America between 2014 and 2016 to be there twice. Me and a guy from California. I was the only one that was blind. I say that in no degree of significance, just to create context. We've raised millions and millions of dollars from stages and collaborating with different charities. This AFB Gala is an incredible example. Before we got involved, the idea was, hey, what would it look like if we could raise a little bit more money this year? We've completely shattered the paradigm. Helen Keller was the original face of the organization. Iconic. September 23rd. We're not asking to buy anything or do anything, but just give me context. September 23rd, we're going to have an event that would have been a beautiful event opening Helen Keller's time capsule. 6 weeks ago, when we started driving, we've been involved with the AFB for 2 years. I'm on the board of trustees, but I said, listen, this is iconic. This is historic. When this was originally sealed, it was on the front page of the New York Times and covered nationally by NBC. In 6 weeks, we have from Mets, Yankees, Jets, Giants, iconic celebrity athletes, Hall of Famers for the MLB, NFL, Hall of Famers for their teams on the Mets and Yankees, Jets and Giants. And we have an A-list rock band about to be set, right? Performing act that everybody would know their name, just we're settling final details. But most importantly, Extra and other news media is going to create a red carpet, have people there. And the trajectory of this event is going to completely change. And you go, why does that matter? It matters because the unemployment rate of the blind has been 70% for 6 decades, 70%. And I use this as just a context setter. You can make up the charity, you can make up the cause, you can make up the size of your business. Whatever it is, that's what the superpower of influence is all about. And that's why we do this show every day. So thank you for joining the ecosystem of more than 3,000 folks, 3,000 that have been on this show since the beginning of COVID. We appreciate you enormously. And for all of us, whatever we want's right there. Challenge is we're all blind
and just learning to see. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye-bye.